How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about how you can acquire used camera gear and save some money. So let's jump right into it. Being a photographer and a videographer, we often get caught up with wanting to have the latest and best gear, and I've made videos about this before. It's something that we kind of fall into that trend with the marketing department of every camera company about bringing out the best of the best every single year. And often we honestly get lost in that aspect of the marketing that we don't really consider the alternative options of getting similar products that could do the same job for less, or even doing the obvious of finding that same product used and saving a good amount of money. I know it can be scary buying used gear, but I'm going to give you a couple of examples to hopefully motivate you to go out there and find the best deal for you. Honestly, most of the gear that I've acquired over the years has either been used or on sale when I've purchased it for myself to save myself some money and be able to acquire the gear that I know will benefit me best when creating all these videos and photo jobs that I get. So now the first thing that we're going to cover is where to buy all your used gear. We're going to have multiple places ranging from eBay, Amazon, B&H, Adorama, and also your Facebook marketplace or something similar to that matter. That's where I've gotten most of my gear when it comes down to buying it used or on sale. So a great thing about these places, you can just make sure to be looking more into depth about the pricing of what it's going by for used gear, whether it's on eBay, B&H, Adorama, or even on your Facebook marketplace department. Like for example, today I actually obtained the Tamron 70-28 lens. I got it used because I didn't want to pay the price tag of $8.99 new, and even with the sale that they currently have going on as recording of this video, I think it's $7.99, and I still couldn't justify paying for that lens just yet because I didn't really need it that badly. I'm currently recording on my 20mm Tamron, and which is a wide type of lens, but I kind of wanted to have the holy trinity of the lenses of the Tamron because, well, I own all three of them. I have the 28-75, the 70-180 as well, which I bought all either used or on a huge discount. It all came down to really doing my research in all these websites, which I recommend for you to do when looking for new camera gear, because you're always going to find a certain deal if you're patient enough. A lot of people kind of want to rush and get the gear that they want to get already, and if you have the budget for it, by all means do it. But for me, it just made sense to be patient enough to wait. I waited about literally a good amount of months before I even decided to buy the 17-28, and I finally found a used price that I felt justified to pay for to get it already. I also bought my 28-75 used off of eBay actually, which is a different kind of spectrum because there you get some kind of money back guarantee from PayPal if you use that kind of service. With the Facebook marketplace, that's how I bought the 17-28. It's not as secure as it would be with eBay, but it's still a good method to go with if you just go ahead and meet up in public places that you know people are going to be around. So one, you're not kind of could get mugged or anything like that or get your stuff stolen, and two, well, it just kind of gives you peace of mind to be able to test it out, bring your camera with it, and that's what I did personally. I've actually sold quite a bit of camera gear off of Facebook marketplace. I sold my Sony a6000, my Sony a7R II through there. I sold as well my APS-C centered camera lenses. So it's not a bad alternative to also be able to sell gear that you want to sell and just make some of the money back or as much of money possible from the gear that you're trying to sell. A good method to go with is B&H and Adorama. They have a used department that if you don't use it, honestly, you could save a lot of money. I bought my 85mm Sony 1.8 for $350 off of the Adorama website. When new, it comes around $550. So that saved me a huge chunk of money to be able to upgrade to a good prime lens that I think has been a phenomenal lens that I use quite often, in all honesty, when I just want to bring a prime lens for portraits. So with that said, just kind of figure out these places to figure out which place will be the best place to buy, even though I just said place like 1,000 times. Forgive me on that one, but just figure out which one would be best and what can get the best deal out of it for you. So now the second thing will be looking at the quality of things that you're purchasing, whether it's the camera bodies, lenses, microphones, filters, whatever it is. Some of them make sense to buy used, some of them don't. For example, the camera bodies that I bought for myself, I've always bought them new. The only one that I did buy used was recently my Fujifilm X100F. I bought it used off of eBay because the price just made so much sense to buy used for how much the shutter count had. So I just went ahead and jumped the gun and got it. I got it off of eBay for about $750, give or take, and most of the places that I saw them used with that camera was like about $1,000. And despite of them saying that it wasn't as aesthetically fine with the minor dents and whatnot, I haven't really seen any problems with it whatsoever. A scratch here and there, that's normal wear and tear when it comes down to an older camera, but in all honesty, it just made sense to save that much money for the type of camera I was trying to buy for what I was going to use it for. So that basically brings it to the point of figure out if the price used makes sense to buy versus the price new. If the difference is only maybe 50 to 100 bucks and you can justify spending that extra money for the new gear, I would go do that. I've done that myself because there was no point in buying a used lens or something like that if the price point wasn't that big of a difference. I bought my Sigma 35mm new actually off of, I think, B&H or Adorama. I can't remember at this point, but it doesn't really matter. I got it new for a little bit of a discounted price, and when it was being sold as used, it wasn't that big of a difference. So I kind of felt more comfortable just buying it new because then I would have the warranty, everything like that, and it just made sense. With these other lenses, the difference of price was just so huge that it just didn't make sense to go buy it new just to have the sake of having new gear and then spending extra money that I could have invested into something else when it comes down to my gear or my business itself. So don't be afraid to just kind of take the plunge and see what there is when it comes down to used gear. Obviously using B&H and Adorama are a little bit more secure when it comes down to the quality that you're going to get because they get inspected, but also eBay tends to have pretty good alternatives to pricing and everything like that, as well as your Facebook Marketplace. I've bought through all of them and I can vouch for them that I've had pretty great experiences with some minor here and there, which has been fine. Like for example, Facebook Marketplace, I was supposed to buy that same Fuji camera and I was going to get it for about the same price, and literally the person just never showed up, never continued messaging me, and actually I guess blocked me or something like that. So I don't know if they were trying to scam me or what, but I took it into consideration that it was just not meant to be, and then I found it off of eBay for actually just cheaper anyway, and it just made sense to get it from eBay because I had that money back guarantee if it wasn't the right product or if it wasn't working whatsoever. So be mindful of what you're trying to buy and see if it justifies it going used or new. That's what I would recommend doing, because sometimes when you spend that extra money on the gear, sometimes you can't use it for other stuff that you want to accomplish as well, whether it's maybe using a little bit of that extra money to go on a trip to take the cool photos and videos you want to make. Well, saving that extra money can be allocated better for your business or for yourself, and then enjoy the gear even more. That's what I've done myself, and hopefully you'll be able to do that too after watching this video. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.